Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie.
This is the episode I've been looking forward to because I don't have to write anything down. I can just respond. We don't have to worry about nothing. We just got to get some calls in, and I mean, you guys take over the show. We're sitting back. We're just enjoying. We're going to respond to what we got. But yeah, we're all calling in, and we're going to answer. You call, we answer. Well, not really. You go right to voicemail and leave us the message. But either way, that's neither here nor there. We are in the middle of our 1 week until HHN Podathon, and we are almost there. And we're going to say this term multiple times. You probably have already heard it before, and you're going to hear it again in more episodes down the road, but we're breaking the magic. This is, as of recording, this is the closest to HHN we are. Like, this is our most recently recorded episode as of now. So it's like starting to seep in a little bit. Is it kind of hitting you, Seamus, that we're like actually pretty close now?
Yes. Yeah,
It's wild.
I'm really excited because it gives me 2 months of being able to get out of the house and not be up my own head.
Yep. Yeah, it's our season. It's almost here, and I mean, we're almost a week away. We are barely a week out as of when we're recording.
Yeah, I mean,
again.
a week and a half.
Yeah, again,
And technically 8
break
days
the
because
walls.
we're premium night, so next Thursday, so a week from
Thursday.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's crazy. And we have there's a lot of stuff going on too between now and then that it's going to absolutely fly by. So that's, that's like real time talk. Now, back to the episode, back to the Collins. I mean, I think we just dive right in. I don't think there's any intro to be had or anything like that. So I'm very curious to see what we got here on,
Yeah, we should preface this by we did not pre-listen to any of these, so like we have no idea what they're gonna say. So, I guess apologies in advance, just in case something
is
awful.
wild or wacky. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I probably should have screened these, but yeah, no, I completely ran out of time.
We live on the edge. Come on now.
Yeah,
Too old to be
life.
living cautiously.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Let's get into these.
Hey ghouls! I am most excited this season to be a part of opening night because last year I missed it for the first time in 8 years. I also can't wait to see the Dolls Play Dead and Five Nights at Freddy's House, as I think they'll both be super fun and creepy. Thrilled that they'll be using Mel's Die-In a lot more this year. See y'all in line with my Twisted Tater in one hand and cranberry canned cocktail in the other. Bye!
A lot there. That voice sounds pretty familiar. I think I know who that one is. Because all these audio files, when I transferred them, are just like random audio names. So I was like, I don't remember which one's which. But yeah, so Dolls Let's Play Dead and Five Nights sounds like they're going to be spending a lot of time with Jamie.
That's not fair.
That's the, I think that's the highest. No, not the highest, but that's up there for Jamie. I know it is. But yeah, so missing last year missing opening night for the first time in 8 years. That's rough. Seamus, almost.
It's quite a streak, though. I mean,
yeah,
8 straight years. I mean, nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, no, you almost missed one. You had a tattoo appointment on the same day.
I did, and then I powered through. And sweated like a pig underneath my protective saran wrap.
Yeah, I should be good, but I do have to do a video gig the morning of opening day. Like 10 to 12.
You'll find a way to get there. Come on.
So,
we know you.
Oh, no, I'll definitely be there.
You'll strap just like middle of the shoot. Be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be because we have premium Scream the Night. So it's like, I'm going to be going in on no sleep. I'm going to come to opening night, no sleep again. Like, it's going to be I'm excited, but I'm already tired. Like, I just know how it's going to go. I'm going to be completely tired. But thankfully, there's a thing called coffee, and pumpkin spice is back. So Nick is back.
This is true.
But yeah, so I don't know what else was there in that little message. Twisted Taters, cranberry drinks. We haven't gotten any confirmation about Twisted Taters one way or the other. As of today, we did get some stuff get announced. And I did see like Twisted Tater potato chips or something. It's like not on the stick.
Twisted Tater chips.
Interesting. I'm curious if they're doing away with the Twisted Tater. I guess time will tell. But
I know we'll talk about
this is
the
only
menu
a portion,
items,
but
it would be surprising if they kept the Twisted Tater and did these Twisted Tater chip things.
Yeah, it would seem like counterproductive. Like why it's the same product, so
Right, you would think so.
yeah. So yeah, we'll see, and hopefully the cranberry drink is back because I actually did enjoy that one. It wasn't like too sweet. It was just a nice like little treat. So let's get into the next one.
Hey, Fee and Beer. Greetings from Germany. I just wanted to say thank you for all the hours of entertainment you already gave me. I am a first-time goer for this year, but thanks to all your episodes, I feel very well prepared, and I'm excited to see you in the fog.
From Germany.
Holy
this one,
shit.
This one was sent over from Instagram because with the Google number, I think international numbers
They don't work,
have
right?
issues. Yeah, so I was like, dude, just if you want to get on, you could just send like a voice memo. And we'll make it happen. So yeah, Germany, and they're coming over for the first time. That's good. I'm glad that we didn't do our beginner's guide to HHN episode this year.
No,
but
we did not.
We have one from last year, and they stay pretty much the same.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I feel like if we did do that, it would kind of be like, I don't know, dipping in. It's one thing to do like the same theme, like we do a draft every year, we do different things like that, but we try to switch it up, bring different people on. I feel like if we just do another guide, it would be just repeating everything we talked about the last time.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple of years when we need to update it, but like, yeah, it would feel a little cheesy if we were just like, hey, we're gonna spend one of our 7 straight days talking about how to do Horror Nights the right way.
Yeah, which again, like you said, we did it before. It would maybe be more beneficial if we did one after like the first week or so, because then we would know how to specifically attack this event based off of like how what houses are popular and what it's all theoretical as of now. The Stay and Scream tactic is going to be much different this year round. So we can't even really say how to do it because we haven't done it ourselves anyway.
Yeah, so this is like a new experience for everybody. It's not just, like there is no dry run or trial run. They didn't really have anything like that last year. You would think that if they had been planning it longer, longer in advance, that they would have maybe tested it a little bit last year. But yeah, it's going to be a new experience for everybody. So we should say that anyone listening that don't get frustrated with the cast. I shouldn't say cast members; they're not Disney employees. Team members. Just because they're learning how to do this process just as much as we are. I think it's going to go relatively smoothly. I think it's going to go a lot smoother than it usually does. I think putting us in cow pens was always kind of like difficult because there's a lot of people to try to like harangue into or corral into one place, and then at the same time like make sure they lined up for the right house. Now it's going to be very simply get in line, get your wristband, and then go wait whatever house you want to wait in. So I'm excited to see how well it's pulled off, but I do think that first couple of nights it'll probably be a little wonky, everyone getting used to it, so just be prepared for that if you are coming opening weekend or thereabouts. But Fear Beer's gone international, man. That's wild. Absolutely wild that someone is listening to my voice in Germany.
And calling in. Well, welcome. We're very excited for you to get over
that's
here.
Sick. Come find us. Let us know when you're here.
Yeah, right. Let's split a pint. But yeah, I mean, like to your point, there's potential growing pains with the Stay and Scream. So again, not the team members' fault. They're going to be doing their absolute best to make it happen. So,
and I think for the most part, like our listener base aren't like that, but there will be those that don't know how to remember that it's not necessarily their fault. Like they're learning just as much as we are. So
yeah, nope. Alrighty, on to the next one.
Hey, Beer and Fear. Hi from the UK. Love the podcast. Good luck on the podathon. Really excited to tune in when and where I can. Coming over to Orlando in September, and hopefully I'll see everybody in the fog. Really excited. Really looking forward to the Terrifier house because big fan of the Terrifier franchise. Love Fallout. Binge the series. Can't wait for the house and all the IP. So exciting. I think this might be one of the best years yet, and obviously the originals always kick ass. Love it. Can't wait to see you all, and maybe we'll get a margarita.
Terrifier is like, it's so hard. I feel like I've seen it more in our community. I feel like Terrifier is being talked about a lot, and I think WWE is being talked about a lot in like our little hub.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of it because, like you said, I think a large number of our community like wrestling already to begin with. So they're already kind of like, I don't want to say like, I guess my point is that they all kind of already are aware of that particular subgenre of, you know, IPs and that sort of thing. So like the wrestling thing is always going to be, you know, big with them.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how it's gonna go with the normal crowd, like normal community. I still think it's gonna be super busy. And again, same goes for Terrifier, like you just said. Like I think that in our community, it's big because it's kind of a cult horror classic, even though it's not really a classic yet. It's still being treated like that cult movie. It's got that cult movie status. But again, with the general public, I don't know how much either A, they even know anything about it, or if they do know anything about it, all they know is that clown they see all over social media is the bad guy in it, but they really don't know what goes into it. Which is why I'm still interested to see how it goes. I think if the house is as wild as they say it's going to be, I'll be interested to see how the general public reacts to it and rates it, because I do think that there is a line that they're going to have to push, and I don't know how many people are going to. I think most will be fine, but there will be a few that I think aren't expecting what this house is going to give them.
Then I'm very curious, like, to hear the reactions of the people that like more casual HHN fans, like the people that go, you know, once a year. It's just kind of penciled in on the calendar. They don't necessarily follow up with like all the lure we talk about and like the IPs. And they're like, oh, Terrifier, cool. Like there's a clown house. Let's go into that. And it's just like absolutely fucking bananas. Like I want to see that shock factor. But yeah, I'm down. Grab a little margarita. Do Terrifier. Sounds A-okay in my book. I like that one.
Don't forget your Daisy sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty, next up.
Hey, Fear and Beer. This is Mark speaking. I love the show. I'm one of the two that brought Nick and Seamus a beer at your Spooky Empire booth in June.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a good question to ask you guys, and this is what I came up with. You're all scholars about HHN. This year will be my third. I'm not counting when I went once in high school because I was too scared to go into the houses. So my question is, when did it start? Was it seeing a horror movie way too young? Was it being scared by a story you grew up with? Basically, how did you get into horror that made you love HHN? And one more thing I'm curious about is, what do you think makes a really good house? Is it the scenic design, the jump scares? I haven't been able to put a finger on what makes me love one house over another. Love you guys. Can't wait to hear the episode.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the call. That's a good question.
Yeah, thank you for the beers, too. I don't know if we got a chance to think of
exactly. Now I'm more like, oh, damn, I should have listened to these so I could prep.
That is a great question. Well, actually, they're both really good questions. I lost my train of thought.
I have a couple moments that I particularly remember from my childhood that do stand out.
Yeah, so do you want to go through what you want to...
Yeah, a couple of mine.
Yeah, first, because I have a couple of ways that I think I go about it, but
yeah. My first couple instances, other than growing up watching like pseudo kids horror like Scooby-Doo and Goosebumps and stuff like that. I distinctly remember, I think, 3 moments. One, we were at a friend's house, family friend, with a large group of people. And I was young at the time, too young to be watching this, but the older kids were in one room and they were all watching The Exorcist. And I tuned in on that. And I was young enough that I forget how old I was at the time, but I specifically remember that moment. The other moments, it's not a singular moment, but me and Seamus, for those of you that don't know, because somebody actually asked us this last week, me and Seamus are cousins. We grew up together, and some of my fondest memories were watching Halloween on Halloween. We would, and the week leading up, because we would take school off on Halloween and just watch the Halloween franchise marathon on AMC. It would run the entire franchise 24 hours, like on a loop, and the whole month was all scary movies. So that always was like a sticking point for me. And then that sort of rolled into me and Seamus's later high school / college years, where we would actually put our own like haunted attraction up and running. We would do a haunted attraction for Halloween only, and it was at Seamus's parents' house up in Mass, and we had like 15 of our friends that would scare act, and we would write stories, we'd post on the website, we would film vlogs and kind of tell people the story that we're going to be running for the year. It was in the newspaper, and people would show up, like they would drive specifically to that neighborhood to trick or treat so they can come through what we called Terror Village. So for me, it kind of slowly worked its way into my life, and with finally figuring out what Halloween Horror Nights was at 25 with Freddy vs. Jason. My friend had messaged me and was like, hey, Freddy vs. Jason is at Halloween Horror Nights. And I was like, what's Halloween Horror Nights? So I flew down for my birthday, and ever since then, I've been absolutely hooked. But Seamus, have you locked down maybe some of your moments that got you into the horror world?
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered some of it. I mean, for me, I've always been drawn to not just horror, like dark media in general. Horror, thriller, suspense, have always kind of just been drawn to that type of thing. I had every Goosebumps book like you did. I mean, I read every single one of them multiple times. When they released the TV show, I was in my glory. I'd watch every afternoon. It'd be on after school. I'd watch that, which kind of led into discovering Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is another big one, especially on Snick or Nick at Night, whatever the hell they called it. So I used to watch that. So you couldn't wait till like a Friday night, school gets out, and you get to like stay up late and watch that show. And then like from there, it kind of just grew. I fell in love with Stephen King, probably at an age that I shouldn't have been reading Stephen King, but my parents really didn't pay too much attention to what I was reading.
What's that 800-page book that 10-year-old Seamus is reading?
Well,
I'm not going to read it.
Not to get off topic, but like my dad never really thought anything of it, because I would bring home like biographies on fucking Ronald Reagan as like a 6-year-old or 7-year-old and read the entire thing. So like me reading like it in 8th grade, he never thought twice about it. Because again, I come from a family that doesn't read. So like where I got it, I don't know, but like they're not versed in books. So like they probably had no idea like really who Stephen King was. So there was that. I found there was like the original Amityville book that was written about the real hauntings that became like the movie and stuff. I found that at my grandmother's house. So I read that. I read Misery at probably age 6.5, 7 years old, but when I shouldn't have been reading it, but I read it anyways. So, I mean, I think a combination of that led me down the path to discovering more, I think at some age, I remember picking up, I don't know if it was Fangoria, or there may have been at one point a magazine devoted, or at least with the Tales from the Crypt Keeper guy. He had like a magazine. They had like a magazine. Again, I don't know if it was like Fangoria or something like that, but
something in that world.
I remember looking at one of those magazines at a friend of my grandmother's house. We were there for some reason, and I happened to look at the magazine. There was like a Chucky doll in it and a few other things, and obviously from there I discovered horror movies. fell in love with Halloween, fell in love with Friday the 13th, fell in love with all those different movies, and got suckered into that. My parents also brought us to Spooky World at a super young age, which was like one of the first big haunted attractions in America, in North America, anyways. And I remember going to that at an age when I probably shouldn't have, and getting to know that side of things, like the HHN side of things, in that way. I kind of, as I got older, I knew what HHN was. I know you had gone a few times or a couple times. Of course, I was a poor college kid when you were going, so I couldn't afford to go. But I think learning about the bigger, wider world of various attractions that delved or that lived in that horror world, kind of grew from there. But I mean, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but yeah, I mean, like Nick said, it grew into running our own haunt, spending way too much money that we didn't have on haunt stuff. We built so many props. Probably spent $1,200 to $1,300 between the two of us. Actually, three of us, because there was a few other people that helped us buy and build a lot of this shit. And we did that for a few years. It really it got huge. We'd have people leaving with their kids saying things to like my parents. My father would be out front running music and stuff, and he'd be like, well, how come you guys don't charge for this? Because it's better than what Spooky World is. So I don't know. I mean, we're a bunch of crazy kids that probably didn't know any better. We just had fun doing it. I always had more fun scaring people than I ever did trick-or-treating myself. We would go camping, so we'd have seasonal camping sites at a couple different campgrounds, and every year they always had some sort of haunted walk at the campground. And even as a kid, I always wanted to be the one in it helping. So yeah, that's kind of what got me into it. Then I moved here and have been able to go to Horror Nights every year since I moved. Haven't missed a year since. So
yep. And then the tail end of his question, sort of what makes the haunted house for you, I guess. Question. So, scenic? Is it the art of the scare? Is it how they design the house? I think for me, the answer is how a good house stands out versus a bad house. I think a lot starts at stage one with the design process of the flow, in which way the scares are coming and which way it forces you through the house sometimes. And it's tough to track, oh, am I going straight, right, left, whatever. But once you do, I think some of the better houses are the ones that are very winding in paths versus you walk straight, you take a right, you take a left, you walk straight. It's that's more hallway-esque. But when they get down into the design aspect of really weaving you in and out, you think of something like Dead Man's, and even Blood Moon to an extent, you'd see certain set pieces from one spot, and it was meant for you to see that from that vantage point, and you kind of weave your way around. So as you get closer, that object gets closer. So I think that going into the psyche of how to design the house at the ground zero is probably the part that sets it apart, but people don't necessarily think about.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to be boring, but I think that's probably the same answer for the most part. It's hard to pin one particular thing down, I think, for me, but I think a big part of it is use of space and the ingenious ways that some of the designers can come up with creating the maze part of it. And then from there, what the set dressers will come in and fill it with all of the stuff that makes it feel like a haunted house. So I think a combination of the well thought out layout and design of the house mixed with the just incredible work that the set designers do. I mean, I don't think I can give that team enough credit to truly warrant what they deserve. Because if it wasn't for that, I think these houses would feel cheap. But because the set dressing and the set dressers and the set designers are so good at their job and so good at use of space and use of material, that it just feels like you're actually there. I keep going back to it. Blood Moon is a great example of this thought or of this process, between how great the actual layout of the house was, mixed with all of the incredible design work that went into dressing the set and making it look like a 1600s era New England or northeastern village. So yeah, I mean, I think a combination of those two things are really what make sell a house for me. And then of course everything on top of it, like music and smell and fog and all that stuff, is the kind of like the icing on the cake. But it starts, it starts with that design.
That's what I think too, because like if you can have a shitty cake with good icing, and you're like, okay, it's a cake still,
right?
But if you have a good base to work with, that's when it stands out that much more.
Right. And that's what sets HHN above. And obviously, there's money there. They have a lot more resources to make it happen. So it's hard to compare them to a smaller haunt, because I think a lot of smaller haunts struggle with that part of it. Like, they don't have as great a design, but at the same time, they're working with what they have and being able to pull off some of the stuff that they can do without the resources that a Universal has. Really stands out, but there definitely is a drastic difference. So, most haunts are like, this is fun. It's great for what it is. It's cute, but it just doesn't. What Universal can pull off with their design work is just, bar none. Like, no one does it better.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into the next one. We got a decent amount, so we'll probably zip through the answers a little bit quicker than that one. But that one I think deserved it, because it was
those are really good questions.
Good questions, and they provided us with beer. So,
hey guys, it's Ratman Callis again with another question. Each year, one house is left off of the Unmasking the Horror tour. If that one house happened to be your most hyped house of the year, would you be willing to pay a premium to do an unmasking tour of just that one house? Thank you guys again for the great podcast. Bye-bye.
Interesting.
The answer is yes.
Yes. So now I think the step forward question is, what is your price point for that?
Ooh.
Well, how much are you willing to pay for a single house unmasking tour? So say Fallout is not on the unmasking tours this year. I mean, it is, but just hypothetically, say it's not. How much are you willing to pay to do an unmasking tour?
I mean,
as
much as I'm hyped for that house. I mean, the frugal part of my brain says, don't be an idiot. So again, supply and demand. I'm not going to pay over what I pay for a 6 house, like maybe 50, 60, $70, something like that.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, but I mean, in all reality, I mean, I would, if they were like, hey, you can do it, but it's the same price as a 6 house tour, I'd be like, well, I think I'll survive without seeing it during the day.
I'll go through it enough without, with
but
the
to
lights
answer
off.
the question, I mean, I would, as long as it's reasonable.
Definitely, yeah, exactly. That's the thing I'm thinking about too, because I forget the prices off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but
I think it was like 170, I think, for this 3 house, and then like 250 or something like that for the 6.
Yeah, which is a good point. I'd pay probably up to, I think even $80 is a little much. I'd pay probably somewhere, like you said, 50 to 70 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this other one.
Fear and Beer. This is Ray from Salmon Ray on Instagram and YouTube. Just wanted to call in and wish you guys a happy haunt season. Looks like we're beginning this year with HHN. Got a banger year ahead of us. And also wanted to thank you guys for bringing us a year-round full of content, full of stuff to look forward to. You guys, whether we're at the gym or headed into work, listening to you guys really brightens our day. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the fog here in just a couple weeks. And keep it creepy, you guys. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for calling in, Sam. Yeah, it's just as much fun is it for you all to like listen to this year round. It gives us a fun little creative outlet that we get to play with as well. I know we do a lot of stuff. Like we're spinning so many plates at all times, but we enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work to me. If I'm like, I'm going to sit at home and edit for 9 hours today, like as long as it's something I'm enjoying, I have no problem doing it. And getting these messages and people throughout, the year or the lead up, especially with the 1 week until HHN Podathon, the amount of people that reach out and are like, thank you. Like that is enough for me to be like, wow, people actually look forward to something I create. And that's, as an artist, I've always kind of been in the art world. It's not painting and drawing and graphic design and stuff like that, but it's more photography, videography, and now in the last 5 years, podcasting. It's definitely rewarding to hear those messages and see those people that are like, thank you so much. I'm like, no, thank you for consuming it, because I can do whatever I want and put whatever out. But if people don't follow up with it and consume it and enjoy it, it's kind of all for nothing. So without that, I'm not going to say it's futile to create it, because creating is obviously always great, but it's just that much more rewarding, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd do it if we had 5 listeners.
Yeah,
like
right.
If we had 5 listeners,
we did when we started,
and that's all we had with those 5. Like, I'd still do. I mean, again, this is just—it's an outlet for me, which I don't have too many of those. I mean, unlike you, I am not as much into the art world. I'm not very talented when it comes to that sort of thing. So the most I have is my voice. And the fact that people listen to this and actually enjoy it and care about what I think is a big deal. So yeah, I if you don't ever be afraid to come tell me how awesome you think the podcast is, or even if you don't agree with something and you want to tell us that you don't agree with it. I love discussing these types of things. I love having discussions and talking and that sort of thing. I feel like this is one of the few places left that you can have an open forum and, there isn't anything like, it's not so volatile. That isn't so us versus them. It's like, we're all one big community. We all love the same thing. We might have all different opinions about how certain things should go, or what movie is better, or which house is this, or which is that. But I just enjoy feeling like I'm a part of the community in a lot of ways, and being able to just, have people care enough about what I think to listen to it. So
it is fun. It is bizarre and fun, but thank you for calling in, and you're welcome for giving you all this content, because as we just spewed about, it's just as much as it is for you, it is for us as well. So thank you for listening.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Nick from the Dead Man's Mic podcast. I just wanted to say, you guys keep it up, man. We really appreciate you all for kind of rocking with us and helping to get our name out there a little bit. We're big fans of the pod. We love listening to you guys, and hopefully you guys have a great time at HHN this season, and we hope to see y'all in the fall.
Oh, yeah. You're in good company right there, Nick. Good company with the namesake. Yeah. Dead Man's Mic, if you're not following them, give them a follow on Instagram. Great new, kind of just up and coming HHN podcast, but I forget where. I think they're from the Midwest. I want to say Chicago area, but I could be just completely making that up. Yeah, whatever. But
they're from
their location,
like Southern California. You'll be like, yeah, Chi-town,
right?
What up?
Yeah, the location isn't necessarily the important part, but it is the name.
No, they are really good. So if you're looking for more content, check them out.
Yep, and I believe they just did a episode with our buddy Mark. I haven't been able to listen to it yet,
nice.
But I'm looking forward to jumping in and see what Mark's been chatting about. I always love catching up with Mark. If you're not familiar, Mark is from Horrors Untold. We split the spooky booth together, so if you saw us then, you saw him in the book. And we've done an episode with him before. I'm sure we'll do one again at some point. But
we were actually last couple of blogs. He interviewed both us, and then we did a separate blog where he interviewed myself, Duff from 365, HHN Scott on Instagram. If you're looking for Instagram people to follow, and then Drew from
Inside.
I think he used to be from Inside Universal, but now he's kind of just on his own doing his own thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a fun little community that we got. Everybody's all spread about. So let's get into this other one.
Hey guys, Adam from Orlando. Just wanted to say real quick, very tired of people being so negative about this premium Scream night. Wife and I are going this year. We didn't go last year. They sold out this year. It's like 7,500 tickets, and people are making it seem like it's going to be a sold-out event and 2-hour waits. People need to realize 7,500 people in that giant park is nothing. So I think just as a community, people got to be a little more positive. That's all. Cheers, guys.
Dude, I
Cheers,
agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
A typical HHN capacity is 35.
Yeah, it's like 35 or 40,000 people. So on like a busy Saturday night, there's like 5 figures, like 40,000 people there. So 7,500 is literally nothing. So he's right about that. So everyone stop worrying about it. If you're going, just be happy you're going. If you're not going, I'm sorry you didn't get a ticket or you chose not to get a ticket. But, bad mouthing it just because you can't go or don't want to go doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. So just keep that in mind.
No, I'm very excited. And the way I looked at it, I think last year, I think they were saying there was like about 3,500 tickets sold and stuff like that. But from everybody's account, there was like no waits, like 10-minute waits max. So if we're simply doubling plus a little bit, you're looking at maybe like a 10 to 30-minute wait max, which again, for a staggered entry, I'm super cool with waiting on that.
I would wager to guess that maybe the number of tickets they had last year was higher and they only sold like 7,000 or 6,500 to 7,000. So they dropped the number this year to make sure that they sell out so they don't end up with a bunch of extra tickets.
Yeah, I think last year, I don't have it all in front of me. I think it was similar, but I think just because it was the first year running, people
no one
weren't
knew what to
sure.
expect.
Because that's where I was too. I was like, I don't really know what this completely entails. It tells me it's less attended. It tells me staggered entry, food and beverages included, non-alcoholic drinks. But I wasn't sure how it was running. And so I was trying to run through like, well, what am I paying for? And essentially what I landed on thinking what I was paying for was that I get to go a night early.
Yeah.
And that is really like the bottom of what you're paying for. You're paying for exclusivity. You're paying
it's the last
that
thing
premium
you're paying for. This is for like
correct.
This is for like the super fans like us, like who are willing to spend the $300 a ticket just to have that one. The staggered entry is worth,
huge.
I think, worth the price of admission by itself. Last year, it was a little concerning because we were just like, how's that going to work? We've only ever experienced HHN when it was just like a conga line the whole time. So we really didn't know necessarily how that was going to function, even at a lower number of people. But everything we've heard is that you can go through as many houses as you want. You have all night long. It's going to go probably the normal hours that a normal night goes.
Yep.
And again, there's only 7,000 people there. So it's going to feel like the park is dead.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm very, very excited. And I to top off your point, I do think there needs a little bit more positivity. Pretty positive community, but still, don't yuck anybody's yum. That's it.
Yeah, and it'll be fun for like us, so we can hang out with a lot of the other super Uber fans and fans of us and friends that we know through the community. And I'm sure there's a number of other creators out there that are going to be going. So we'll get to hang out with a lot of them.
No, I'm excited. I am very, very excited, and you can't take that away from me. That's for sure. Next up.
Hi, my name is Silas, and I have a question for you guys. So far, Halloween Horror Nights has done a lot of international folklore haunts, like Monstrous, and now there's going to be Galvkin. So if you could see next year or any year in the future another region or country's folklore be represented, what would it be?
I know Seamus's answer already, and I think it's mine too.
I don't know, actually.
No? Okay.
Well, the thing is I got to think about this for a second, because there are a few that I would like to see. I think you and I are thinking the same thing, I think, initially, which would...
Yeah.
We'll say Japan specifically.
Yep.
But I'm thinking East Asia overall.
Yep.
Because not necessarily just Japan. You could maybe do... I mean, there might be enough from just Japanese culture by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you needed to use additional Eastern Asian countries to kind of come up with like one big overall theme, then you could use Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, that whole area of Eastern Asia that I think there's so many untapped ideas there that they could use. I think that obviously the Zodiac was kind of their attempt at doing something from that area of the world that came from, I think, was it Singapore that came from?
Because that was at the HHN event over there.
Yeah,
before.
So that came from Singapore. It wasn't necessarily their folklore. I would rather see like there's a number of folkloric stories that they can tell. I don't think is that even a word, but there's enough stories in Japanese and Chinese and Korean culture that I think that they could come up with some really cool things. I love Japanese and Korean horror. They're some of my favorite international horror. So seeing a lot of that up close would be really cool. If not,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking like Japanese, well, like the Oni masks and stuff like that. And maybe because I've been replaying Spider-Man a lot, and they like Mr. Negative is the main character with his like the demon army.
Yep.
So something in that like sense, I think.
Yeah, or the hand from
the hand from Iron Fist, and Daredevil.
Daredevil. Yeah, that would be really cool. So if not that, I would like to see something Celtic at some point. Just because my name is Seamus and we come from a very thick Irish family. So I would love to see something Celtic related. I know you and I talked about Banshees before. That's very much a Irish folklore type thing. There's other things you could do. You could do something with snakes if you wanted to, but there's other things within that Celtic world that isn't just Ireland. I say Ireland because that's where my family comes from, but obviously there's
Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland and other parts of that Celtic world, whether that, and part of that will come with the Nordic thing too, because part of the Celtic identity comes from the Nordic people, but it would be cool to see something specifically from like the Emerald Isle. That's kind of would be cool. But if I had to pick one, it would be Japan or Eastern Asia.
Yeah.
In general.
I think that's where I land as well. So that one, hopefully someday.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, Fear and Beer? This is Daniel, or as you will see me on Instagram, I'm DJ Cozy10. Looking forward to this season. I have two questions. My first question is for all three of you. If you got trapped inside one of the scare zones overnight, which one would you have the best chance of surviving, and which one would eat you alive first? And that's for this year's scare zones.
Okay.
And then my second question is for Nick only. Nick, you look like a natural wearing that new Fear and Beer shirt in the wrestling ring. If you were a wrestler, what would your wrestler name be?
Ooh.
Hey, looking forward to seeing you on the fog, and looking forward to hearing these responses. All right,
Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to think
Nick.
on the. Yeah, right. The Nasty Boys, baby. I always joked around with my buddy Jimmy. I always wanted to be either a mouthpiece, like not even a wrestler, like a manager, or more. My ideal location in the ring would be as the super aggressive referee. Because I'm very much smaller than everybody else.
Or the
correct,
Earl Hebner.
I'm thinking of Earl Hebner, who's like he pushes Triple H and Triple H sells for him, and he's like what? Oh my god, he's so strong. The ref is so strong. Like I always wanted to be the ref that would be the get in the face guy, and it's like, yeah, I know you can't hit. You got to respect the stripes, man, and just being the ass. When somebody's bad to you, you slow count them, or you fast count somebody on the other side of it. Like I think being the ref would be fun. So that would be,
and we all know
my
why he didn't
ideal
ask
location.
me that question, because there already is a wrestler named Sheamus.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already a wrestler.
Right, the Celtic Warrior, just like the last question. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So which of these 4 scare zones, we'll go with what you would survive in first. So we're talking Cat Lady, Mutations, Origins of Horror, and Masquerade Dance with Death. I think I know mine. I think I know which one I can survive. Yep. I know. I think I know mine, and it's sort of because of a loophole, but I'm not sure how much of a loophole is it's factual. So I think, and this might sway. I'll let Seamus go first.
Do we
because I
know
don't
what's
want to
in the?
sway
Do
him.
we know what's in like the icons of horror, whatever that one is called up front? Do we know what the bad guys are in it?
I think it might be like gargoyles or crows or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that,
I'm gonna
maybe.
go with that one because it doesn't seem like there's too many violent, murderous, bad things in it. Like in gargoyles, like just wait till morning and they'll turn to stone. You can just leave.
Yep. I'm thinking Cat Lady because I think she's like Stoop Kid. I don't think she can leave her stoop. So as long as
But
I
can our
don't
cat
go,
people leave the stoop.
That's true. Man, little cats, what are they gonna do? Scratch me?
They're not little cats. They're cat people.
I'll just I'll bring a laser pointer with me, and I will distract them because they have to have some sort of feline genes in them to make them go like, ooh, ooh, ooh. What's this?
True.
What's that?
This is a good point.
I'll find some catnip in my pocket or something, and just give it to the cats. But it's also a ballsy move on my part because I'm allergic to cats. So like they don't even need to like.
True. I mean, they might have some like super allergen that would kill you.
They don't even have to really attack me. But I'm thinking I could fend away from the cats, and I think the cat lady is Stoop Kid. I think she's afraid to leave her stoop.
Stoop Kid never leaves a stoop.
So which one would kill you the quickest? I know what this one is.
I'm gonna go with Masquerade, and the reason I say that is because I am a lover at heart. I'm lovesick, and if some sexy vampire wanted to come bite my neck, I wouldn't fight back. I would let her do it.
Like Haley Steinfeld and Sinners.
I have a weird vampire. How can I put this in a way that doesn't make me sound fucking strange? But it's gonna have something to do. I have a vampire
romanticization.
I have a vampire kink. I'll just put it out there. I'll put it out in the world. The idea of being bit in the
takesy
neck,
backsies.
Is interesting.
Intriguing.
So like, I'm gonna say that like if some hot vampire chick was like, "Hey," I'd be like, "All right, this is just how it's just happening. I'm a vampire now. That's okay with me."
If it's like Sinners with Haley Steinfeld and I'm like Smoke or Stack or whatever, like
fucking Josh Allen ruining every man's dream.
Well,
son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, he got the ring on Steinfeld while he was reading.
Like you got to lock that shit down because
when he was trying to read lines with Haley Steinfeld for Sinners, and she's like, "Nope, I'm gonna marry you right now before you have this scene with Michael B. Jordan where you tell him, I don't even want to say it on the podcast, but yeah, she's got some great lines in that movie. Let me tell you.
But I'm not even thinking. I mean, not just her. I mean, there's a lot of vampire movies that just.
Well, Dusk Till Dawn.
Salma Hayek.
Is that Salma Hayek? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, for sure.
So yeah, I would not survive Masquerade Ball. I'd be dancing for eternity with vampire teeth.
So it's funny that we have all different answers, and I think we're going to go around the park because I think mutations would kill me the quickest. Because I'm just thinking sludge and shit being thrown around. Like for a vampire, like there's ways about it. Like if I take garlic out or the cross.
Yeah, there's a way to fight it. That's for sure. I'm just saying I would not fight it.
You're not going to.
I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah. But if I'm in mutations, like unless I have like a hazmat suit, like, and there's no promise that also wouldn't burn through, like I'm screwed, and I could be screwed from all over, right? Like they could be dumping the toxic goo like off buildings, and it just like splashes on me a little bit, and then I'm screwed. So I think that's where I'm landing as the easiest.
We'll have to get back to you on Jamie's answers because she's not here.
She's not here. She's doing something. I think I don't know what she's doing.
Want to guess? What do you think? What would she survive? I think she would survive cats.
Yes, she would say
because
she would
be like,
cats.
"Oh, kitty," and like pet them, and they'd be like, brr, brr, and like she would survive that 100%.
Yeah, I think she would pick Masquerade as die the quickest.
Yeah, she'll probably die in Masquerade. I would say that. Because I'm trying to think. I don't know if she would die with the toxic ghouls. I feel like she would find a way out of that.
Yeah, I think we nailed it there with the cat lady and the.
I think so
Masquerade.
too.
I would ask her, but I want to keep this train rolling. So let's get into our next one.
Hey guys, this is Aaron. I had a two-part question for you guys. The first part of the question is going to be, this year's kind of shifted back to traditional HHN, and they're going really big and really hard with some huge IPs, and the scare zones look to be super detailed and built out. Do you guys think this is the new standard after last year being a down year and then transitioning into this year going so hard? Is it going to be like this for the foreseeable future? The second part of that question is with next year being an anniversary year, how do you top the IPs and ideas from this year? So what, in your minds, what would the anniversary year next year look like to be bigger than this? Last thing, thanks for the invite to the Fantasy Football League. That's awesome. I hope to kick Seamus's ass. Baby.
To figure out which team he is, but yeah, just bring it. Okay, so is this the new standard going forward? I mean, I believe so. I don't think they would set in mind that for whatever reason 34 we're going to go super hard. I think we felt the effects of Epic, And I think that's what happened the last couple of years. I mean, we had COVID, so 30, albeit it was a very fun year, there was obviously things we had to work around. And then we had Oddfellow or Pumpkin Lord 31. We had some decent years, but once Epic started, I think you could feel that at like 32 a little bit, 34 a little bit. So I think this is where they want to go with it. I think limiting the scare zones from 5 to 4 allows them to detail the scare zones a bit more while adding these smaller features like the zombies that Mel's die in and the club horror. I like that aspect. So I think they're testing that out a little bit to see how received they are. But what do you think, Seamus? You think this is like a standard thing, or are we coming out of Epic and we're just noticing it?
I don't want to be the bubble burster, but that's kind of what my role is here. I think it's going to be, I said it before, I think it's going to be hard to top this year, for one. I think they can go all out next year, and it still is not going to feel, at least on paper, as big and as hard as this year feels like it's going to be. I think there's two factors. One, I think the IPs that they had that they procured for this season are some of the biggest IPs that they've had in a long time. I think it's going to be hard to like replicate that going forward, even if they try to. I just don't think there's enough coming out every year that warrants the type of response that they got with this season. And I think part of it is the idea that coming out of last year, we were all very much like, it was fun, but it wasn't the greatest year that they've had. It felt a little empty. It didn't feel quite as cohesive. There were definitely some missed opportunities. But this year, I think, being that the announcements have all been fire for the most part. I mean, I think for the most part, everybody's excited about every announcement. I think there's arguments to be made about, at least from us, like certain things. Like I'm not as excited for this or vice versa for that. But at the same time, it's still massive ideas, and every original sounds original.
Yeah.
It actually feels like they're not just taking from years previous. And especially considering, I mean, the last couple of years we've had houses like that where they feel like they literally were just rehashes of things that they've used in the past, like Hellblock.
Yeah.
Kind of a throwaway house. There were a few houses of the last couple of 2 or 3 years that feel like they were throwaway. So this year, it doesn't feel like there's any house that they've announced that is truly a throwaway house. Like everything is going to be balls to the wall, everything thrown to see what sticks. Like they're going to go all out. Can they match that next year? Maybe, but I'm not getting my hopes up, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to be bad or it's going to be that much worse, but I think what like let's say Aaron was his name. I think like he was saying that next year is an anniversary. It's an anniversary year, right? So they have to try to do what they can to top this year. But I don't know. Because like I think you brought it up, is just having another Icon's house or another Scary house or Carrie house
enough
to be like, hey, it's anniversary. Let's bring back everything you guys love about Horror Nights. Like, is that going to be enough to be like, dang, like they definitely went for it and improved upon the previous season? I don't think so. So they're really going to have to land some crazy IPs to even match what they had this year.
Yeah,
and that isn't just coming from a Fallout fan. Like I know part of it is I'm coloring my vision a little bit based on the fact that I love Fallout as much as I do, but at the same time, I think this goes for Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not huge in that, not super hyped about it, but I can see why it's super popular and why it's another big name. It's going to be hard to find one that matches that intensity of a response.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, you're looking at Fallout, Five Nights, Terrifier, and WWE. These are all kind of IPs that have not been present before. WWE sort of was a Hollywood, but this is a whole different entity. And then you have Jason, who is the first time back in a very long time out of legality hell. So these are all like big gets. So if you're talking like next year gets, you need IPs that you haven't had before that people are asking for. So you're talking like It, Conjuring, Scary, Hellblock, Scream, Candyman. You are, even Nightmare on Elm Street I would throw in there. You're getting limited to what you can choose that one-ups it. And obviously with Stranger Things sort of being the final season, I'm almost penciling that in, but at this point, that doesn't excite me, and I'm a big Stranger Things fan.
But I think a lot of people would be disappointed by that because we've had Stranger Things, what,
3 times?
3 times in the last 5 or 6 years. I feel like that would be a massive disappointment if they're like, hey, we're bringing back Stranger Things season 5. Like, aren't you excited? Yeah, but not really, because we've seen it a bunch.
That's grandma's gift. That's the socks on Christmas.
They would have to do a Nightmare house, I think, especially considering the fact that they teased it a couple of years ago. It didn't happen. And we haven't seen Nightmare in a very long time. And not just because we got Freddy versus Jason. Like, you need to do an actual Nightmare on Elm Street specific house. I think they'd have to do that. And if they bring back monsters, I mean, is that enough to be like, hey guys, we brought monsters back? Like, I don't think that's a big enough get either. So
it's tricky. I mean, at least we have a while before we start locking down and looking at 35, but it does seem like a pretty short list.
Yeah, and I think what also helps this year too is not having a monsters house, not having a musical guest house. You've got 5 different IPs that are not like a trend. Like, these are things that kind of came out of nowhere in a lot of ways. You're not going to have that going forward. I don't think they're going to be able to do that every year. They're going to have to go back to the same well at some point. Whether that is bringing back monsters, bringing back another musical artist, doing The Weeknd again, like something along those lines that will bring in a normie crowd, but doesn't necessarily excite, the community as a whole.
Yeah. I forget. Was there another question in there, or what did
I forget.
I forget. All right. Well,
he got us going on on what we think about the years going forward.
Hopefully we answered at least the first part for you. If there was a second part, I am sorry, but I think we answered that one pretty good. So let's get into this one. We got, I think, 4 more.
4. Jesus.
Hi guys, I love your podcast. It's great that Horror Nights is coming around soon. Real excited about that. Love when you guys do the 1 week away too. Keep it up, the great work. My question I was gonna throw out there was, if you could see a well-known actor one day working with Horror Nights, because for IPs, it's usually movies or music with the bands that we've seen them before, even The Weeknd. I'm wondering what you think of a well-known actor will, become an icon one day at Horror Nights, create their own character, or work with Horror Nights to, make their own story, make their own house. I could see that since now, they're working with the WWE. What can't Horror Nights do? Thanks again for everything, guys. You have a good one.
I appreciate you tuning in. The whole WWE thing does kind of open some doors. I am curious. It's a little bit trickier, I think, with actors and directors, because if it's not for a specific property, I don't know what the upside would be for them. If you're talking just for either an Ari Aster or a Mike Flanagan, what is the benefit on their end to create their own icon or house when they're at the point in their careers where they can create a series or a movie? It's an interesting concept to think about, what they would create, or if they were just hey, Flanagan, create us a story for a haunted house, go.
I think the easy answer here is Spencer with Ice Nine Kills, and you have him come in and do, because he's already been building this whole backstory and lore to his band and the music and the bad guy. I forget what he calls the bad guy in his universe, but that whole, they created a whole story with those last 2 records. I think if you're going to pick any celebrity or band or musical artist or something like that to come in and do their own unique original story, I think he'd be the easy answer. I think, you're right about one thing. I think in the the Hollywood world, I don't think there's too many you can really choose, because outside of them coming in and doing one of their movies, we got Terrifier. Obviously they worked with Damien Leone pretty closely. It wasn't he wasn't part of it. I think at that point you're kind of bringing in somebody for their property. Rob Zombie for House of a Thousand Corpses, Damien Leone for Terrifier, Mike Flanagan for the Netflix stuff. Like, I think there's just, it's not so much you're bringing them in to do their own unique original idea. So that's a harder one. But I think the music stuff, I think they could find other avenues. And I think I'm surprised that they haven't done anything with Spencer yet, because Spencer is such a massive horror head like us.
Yeah.
And he loves this world, that I think you could do something with him. If not them, I mean, you could reach out to Chris from Motionless in White. I think he's a big fan of it, and they're very much, they have a lot of unique horrific visuals, horror-based visuals in their music, something like that. That's kind of where I would lean, is more towards the music world, because I think there's more opportunity for unique storytelling opportunities that you could get, rather than potentially bringing in somebody from like the Hollywood TV world, streaming world. Not to say that they couldn't do it, but it would almost cost, I think, Universal more than it's worth.
Yeah,
if you think about it, unless it's someone that's
tickets.
like already a massive fan of the event and they want to work with them on something, that I could see. Like, you know, I could totally see like John Landis's kid there, Max Landis or whatever his name is. I could see him doing something, because I feel like he's kind of like in this world already. But at the same time, like you said, I think they've got so many things going on just outside of that. Like, you know, they've got so much creativity and things that they're working, so many projects that they're working on, that I don't think they would even have time to sit down and be like, let's write a haunted house for a couple theme parks.
Yeah, I think you're right. Musical artists, I think, is the avenue that would probably be easiest to navigate. But all right, let's get into this other one.
Hey, Fear and Beer. Love you guys. Thank you so much for getting us through the year with a Horror Nights 6. My question, I just want to know, what are your top 3 songs on your Horror Nights hype list? We've all got one. What gets you hyped for the night? Thanks. See you in the fall.
Good God, with these questions.
Chumbawamba with arms wide open.
Why didn't we pre-listen to these? We knew better. We should have pre-listened to these.
All right, so let me open my Spotify.
Oh my God, 3 songs. So 3 songs on my hype list for Horror Nights. So it's gonna have to be just like Halloween in general, like music that I listen to just hyping me up for Halloween. And it's gonna be hard to pick specific songs, but I will try. One of them is from one of the bands I just talked about, Motionless in White. They have a song called, I believe is it Wolverine? Hold on, let me double check.
Let's see.
Werewolf. Sorry, not Wolverine. Werewolf.
Werewolf.
So they have a song called Werewolf, which literally starts with a howling werewolf, and he talks about like becoming a werewolf and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's more metaphor to it than that, but that is a very spooky Halloween style song that I like. Also from another band that I just talked about, Ice Nine Kills. I mean, they have 2 entire records just based on horror movies, but I'll have to say that I'm going to have to add a work of art. Their latest, one of their latest songs, about Terrifier. I think that's a big one to help build your hype up for the Terrifier house and just horror movies in general. Cause, you know, knowing that their lead singer Spencer is as big a horror head as I am, he's from Massachusetts like I am. He's right around the same age as me. So like, I feel like him and I are kindred spirits in a lot of ways. He's probably got a better voice than I do, but that's besides the point. And then my third song, oof. I'm just going to shoot in the dark here, and I'm just going to pick a random band that I really like that has not spooky music, but very dark themes. And we're going to go with Fit for a King, and we'll do the song Reaper, just because it's about, you know, death and the Grim Reaper and how it, you know, there's nothing you can do to stop it, and that time is the biggest enemy. And I don't know, it's, again, I like really dark stuff. I like dark music. I really like, you know, heavier music, and they just kind of speak to me and help me get hyped up for the spooky and dark season that we all love. It's called Halloween. I don't know why I just went high.
Right. I got 2 Misfit songs that I always really like. Saturday Night, I always like, and Skulls. I like, those are kind of my 2 Misfits. Killer Clowns by the Dickies. That kind of always gets me in the mood.
Good song.
Just because it hits the vibe. A lot of these are like movie sort of based, but I also do thank you Stranger Things 4, but I do like listening to the Kate Bush song "Run Up the Hill." Like it brings me back to the HHN season by association.
It's definitely like, thank you. I mean, thanks to Stranger Things, she's definitely in that zeitgeist now. Like, they made her popular again, and on top of that, when you hear the song, you think Stranger Things. You can't help it.
I don't think anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, all you think about is Max being like pulled up into the sky, and she's listening to that song, and then that song is playing. Like, it's all you think about now. Whether that's good or bad. I mean, I guess, Kate Bush is probably happy because that made her song popular again.
Yeah, I think those are some of mine.
I will add. I know she said 3. I'll add one more, and this is kind of out there, but I do like The Cure. And I like their song Friday I'm in Love, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, yep.
It's kind of a darker, melancholy love song. Anything by Typo Negative too. Like, I'm a big goth rock guy too. It wouldn't appear to be. Like, I don't look like that, but I do love goth rock. So I'm cheating and adding a few more songs. But how can you give us a question like that? It's like, pick 3 of your favorite children.
Yeah, I also Cry Little Sister.
That's a good
Lost
song.
Boys.
Yep.
Kind of gives you those horror-y vibes. So I think those are all fun little additions. And then obviously if you want to throw anything like Living Dead Girl by Zombie.
I have an idea now. We're gonna have to build a Fear and Beer playlist.
Yeah.
On Spotify and Apple Music
idea.
And share it with people. So we'll work on that together, and we'll build up.
Well, thanks for the question, because you led us to something new, and I hope
now
you
we
can
have
enjoy
something
it.
we can give the community.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, let's get into this. We got 2 more, and then we are out of here.
Hi there. I had a quick question. So I am very excited for the Terrifier house because I love the character, but I'll be honest, I've tried to watch the movies and they're just not for me, but I'm still excited. So my question to you, if you could just explain quickly what this whole thing is about me getting wet in the house. Is there a inside joke that I'm missing with the movies? Like, are we talking about a spritz in the face? Are we talking about I just don't get the inside joke. So if you could explain that and what I should expect, I would really appreciate it. Okay, thank you guys so much for all you do. I am so excited for Halloween Horror Nights. Bye.
Woo-hoo, let's go.
So we should start by saying we're not entirely sure yet either, because they haven't really said much other than the fact that people need to prepare to get wet.
They said you'll get wet, but
so I'm with you. I have watched all 3 movies. I'm not wild about it. Probably not for the same reason. I love gore. Gore is not a problem. It's, for me, these movies kind of feel like it's nothing but, like, it's all. That's the only reason to watch them, is to see how disgusting they can make the kills, and there really isn't much story. They're kind of out there. They're wacky. Don't make a whole lot of sense. I will give credit to some of those actors at least in the second and third movie. They're trying their best, and they're doing pretty good, and there is some believable acting in it. But for the most part, you don't watch those movies for the acting. You don't watch them for the story. You don't watch them for anything but the scary white clown with the nasty teeth smashing people's face in with hammers. That's basically what you're watching it for.
Yeah.
So
Lauren Rivera does great.
She's like the best. Yeah, she's the best actor in
the third.
In the movies, in those movies, because she's actually like a believable actor, and I'm surprised she hasn't gotten more work. But
same.
Beyond that, yeah. So the wet thing, it's not an inside joke so much as it's like, if you've watched the Terrifier movies and you like the Terrifier movies, or even if you're like somewhat follow it and you know enough about it to like know what's coming. Yeah, you're going to get hit with gore is basically what it is. You're going to be walking through scenes
slashing people up,
scenes
or
from the
chainsaw.
movie where he's cutting somebody with a chainsaw, or shooting someone with a machine gun, or bashing somebody's head in with a baseball bat, and you're going to get hit with whatever comes out of the person being slaughtered, right? So be prepared for that. Jamie keeps bringing up like there's going to be like a wet line and a not wet line. I don't know how that's going to work. Like
I think it's like Dueling Dragons, like the ending. There's like a finale that's wet or not wet.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe that's what they mean. Maybe there's one section of the house where you either choose to get wet or not. I hope if you choose not to get wet, that it's not a watered down, sorry to use the pun, experience. Like Like, I hope you still get the experience of the scare or whatever it is. You're just not getting splashed with the gore. Now that you say that, though, I'm gonna be kind of bummed if it's literally that's all it is. Like I said before, like this house needs to go as hardcore as it can go, and you should be getting wet the entire time. There should be nothing but wet mat the whole way.
Yeah. So I think throughout the house there will be little wet parts where like you're gonna get hit with water, but it's gonna look like blood. I think the finale is where you get
drenched,
very wet.
Yeah.
Like potentially very wet. But I think you'll be getting like spritzed on throughout.
Yeah.
But nothing of notice because they've made such a big deal about the whole like you're gonna get wet thing. So if they're making such a big deal of it, they're essentially trying to get ahead of the fact of warning the public that don't choose the wet path and then be upset when you come out like very wet.
Yeah.
So I mean, but again, like you said to start this, unfortunately we can't fully answer it. Just because we haven't gone through the house yet, but from from watching the movies and figuring out the houses a little bit, I think it is a matter of what Seamus said. You know, he's gonna be like slashing and stabbing. You're gonna get sprayed with like little water cannons, and then if you choose the wet path or the not wet path, that determines how wet you're gonna get, I guess.
So bring your ponchos is really what we're trying to say, because you're probably gonna want a poncho if you don't want to get like
Just
I don't
in
think
case.
it'll be water ride level wet, but you will get a number of
And we won't know until we do
fluids
it.
sprayed on you. And keep an eye on the Instagram, because I'm sure the first time the three of us go through it, we're gonna want to go live and be like, "Oh my god, that was disgusting," or whatever. But
we'll figure something out.
So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, to answer your question, just know that there is a chance you will get wet if you choose to go through the house, and it will be simulated gore, like blood and guts and brains and other wonderful body matter.
All that fun stuff. Let's get into our final call-in.
Hi, this is Nicole. You might have seen me around as Ratman Callis on Instagram. My question for y'all is, what has been your favorite scent in a house? What has been your least favorite scent in a house? And is there a scent you would like to smell in a house that hasn't been used before? Thank y'all so much for the lovely podcast. Can't wait to see you in the fog.
Okay. I think I know mine, but I don't think I have like a lot to pull from. Like two things came immediately to mind. And I'm sure there are better answers for both, but since I already thought of these two, these are just the two I'm going to go with. I think my favorite scent was, and they use these scents multiple times in various houses, but when I remember it was in the Welcome to Scary house. It was part of the schoolhouse, and it was like the burning wood scent.
Yep.
I like the burning wood scent, which I'm sure has been used in other locations as well. And then I think my least favorite was last year from Monstros. It was like the little shit bird room. I like the big birds animatronic just smelled like shit.
Yeah.
They like even the people, the house attendants that were standing in that room were given like face masks to mask it, because that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
But those two jumped out immediately to me.
I can't remember. Because I faintly remember this, but did the Killer Clown's house smell like cotton candy at one point?
Yes.
So
yes.
I distinctly remember that, and I do enjoy the smell of cotton candy, or whatever they use to simulate that smell.
Yeah.
I really do like that smell. So anything sweet like that, I'm a sucker for. Obviously, shit's the worst. Like any level of shit smell is just disgusting and gross.
Chainsaw,
And
Texas Chainsaw.
yeah, because
Monstros.
Texas Chainsaw had that same pig shit smell. That's just gross. As far as like smells I would like to see, I mean, again, I'm gonna go back to the Terrifier well. If they don't have that penny coppery blood smell, it's gonna take me out of it. Like they need to like blast the smell of blood and gore for it to really simulate that movie. Not that I want to smell that, like it's not something I desire to smell, but it's like at the same time, if you want to give me an immersive experience in that house, you'll do that, not just spray me with water.
Yeah. As far as what I want, I did think of a couple more. I did really like the in the Icons house when we went through the caretaker. It smelled of roses.
Oh yeah,
that was a really cool.
Yep, because you were in the mausoleum or whatever it was.
Yep. And then same house, Icons. When you go through the usher, you get the popcorn smell. So really, any of those, I can't necessarily I don't have like a scent on the top of my head that I'd be like, I want. How about like fresh cut grass? Is there a way to incorporate that?
Probably.
Like grass in a morning setting. I don't know. I got nothing. My brain's mush now. Made me think about scents in a house. This is in depth. I should have been a little bit more prepared. But I do like any of those.
How about that smell you get when you go to a race in the racetrack, and it's like a scent mixed with like gasoline and tire and rubber and smoke, and it's like disgusting. But at the same time, like it is such a good smell. I love the smell of a racetrack.
I love the smell of gasoline. I know it's like probably not great, but I love it.
Dude, every kid tried to huff the fucking tailpipe at one point in their lives.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But all right. Well, that wraps up our call-in episode. Thank you so much for everyone that participated and called in. This was a blast. It also allowed us to not outline an episode. We just kind of got to wing it. So that is always fun. We are in the midst of our 1 week until HHN Podathon. So join us tomorrow. We will be back with a whole new episode, brand new, because of the way we record these. And I don't know what's coming tomorrow. So your guess is as good as mine at this point. So surprise for you, surprise for me. I mean, it's all laid out on our Instagram, so you can find out what it is coming up tomorrow there. But that's really all I have. Seamus, anything else before we get on out and come back tomorrow?
Nope. This is fun. I always love doing these episodes, so hopefully we'll do some more in the future. I love when people call in and provide their own 2 cents and ask us really good questions that I was not prepared for.
Those are our best ones.
Those are great. So yeah, thank you for joining in. I should reiterate, we did release the video today. We're going to be at Toll Road on September 6th.
Oh, yes. Yep.
In Ocoee, Florida. We should just reiterate that for everybody that's listening. So if you want to come hang out with us, we'll be there for a few hours on September 6th before Horror Nights opens for the night. Come try our beer. Well, I should say try Toll Road's beer that we got our grubby little hands and put our name on. But it'll be a fun time to hang out and see everybody. So make sure to
I'm excited. I am excited for the beer and Halloween Horror Nights. So until next time, which is tomorrow, this is Nick.
And this is Seamus.
Happy 1 week until HHN Podathon, baby.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. You can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.